Hello everyone, it's Melissa. Welcome back to another video. Today's video I'm going to be sharing a 12 by 12 size layout, and it's going to be of my kids hammocking in the backyard. So I'm going to start per usual by pulling from my product jar, and in fact I do get all of the items used, and so I'm pretty happy about that. So thickers, mixed media, frames, clips, stencils, tags, 6 by 6 pads, and my alpha stickers or thickers were on this page. So in fact, this page will have two titles, a subtitle and a other title. So I'm starting off by pulling my Stampin' Up! Stencil, and I'm using this card from Echo Park or Simple Stories, I apologize, as my pulling point, my jumping point for my colors. I've got some old 6 by 6 pads there, and that stencil is still available. It's from Stampin' Up! And I am a demonstrator, so if you're interested, just let me know. That is Distress Stain Walnut in the walnut stain color, and I'm just going to use a makeup sponge and the ink and just put it in a specific area on the background page. This is just a brown or a tan paper from my stash, and you'll notice that I'm not going to the edge of the top or the bottom. The bottom won't be seen, but I'm wanting not to have harsh edges on my stencil. I just want it to fade into the background. And you'll see later that I pull even more of the ink off. Notice the void there in the center of the stencil. That's just because I already know that the area in that specific spot is going to be covered. Now this is a layout that is part of a fun challenge that I did with two other Scrappy girlfriends, and it was based off a sketch from Kelly Barron and the stucksketches.blogspot, and I wanted something fun for us to do, and this was a layout that was inspiring to me, so this is my interpretation. If you are just following me here, if you head over to my Facebook page, Cut It Up Creations, or Instagram, both of my friends' layouts will be linked in the post, so you can see their interpretation as well. And I will post a picture of it, the sketch, at the end of this video. So I used the walnut stain. I actually used a wet napkin to pull up some of that ink, and now I'm using the walnut stain as well with some water on just some packaging with a paintbrush to add some splatters. Now from American Crafts, I have a font called The Lucky Ones, and I used the phrase "Stay Wild." I also have some ephemera pulled from Vicki Boutin, some frames, bits and pieces, and that Project Life card that says "Press Pause." Now, I didn't know when I was going to get a chance to use "Stay Wild," so this was a perfect opportunity. Kids outside enjoying the nice weather that we were having, and hammocking was a fun subtitle to this page, or title, whatever you want to say. So there's me showing you my final mixed media results, and I've pulled some navy cardstock from my stash. I also have at the bottom of the layout, you can see I haven't glued it or adhered it yet, but it's a paper clip, since I pulled clips from my product jar, and it's a hashtag. And so I'm excited to get that used out of my stash on a page. This is just a piece of wood grain from a 6 by 6 pad that was in my stash, and just going to use it as a base for my Stay Wild title. If you'll see in the sketch later on in this video, I tried to stay pretty close to the sketch. I didn't want to veer from it too much, and so yeah, I'm just going to adhere this down, and I always, per my usual, rough up the edges. I'll actually probably go ahead and get that title stuck down next, if I remember right. But whenever I'm adding a paperclip to an actual layout and not to an element or a piece of ephemera, I like to use a pencil and mark where the actual clip is, and then I'll come in with my craft knife, and I will cut an area out to slip that clip in. And then in fact, I will use some washi tape to secure it to the back, since that's the only real like glue or anything I have to keep that secure. I use a couple pieces, but you see that looks nice. That'll just sit right there, and yeah, there's my title. So those are foam letters, and like I mentioned, they're from the lucky ones from American Crafts. And I showed you briefly in the beginning, but this is from Simple Stories. This layout was inspired by the colors from the Simple Stories travel pack, and it's basically just burgundies, tans, navies, greens, oranges, those types of colors, and actually even like a turquoise, which was fun for me to incorporate into a fun outdoors page. So yeah, that's just a orange sheet from Stampin' Up, 6x6 cut in half. I'm going to add some foam. Those are like flowers from my stash. I just have a bunch of elements that I pulled from my kids' crafts that they don't use anymore. And let's see. So those trees are going to serve as a background, but I don't know. I just like the way they looked back there. Since my kids are in the woods, I took 2 pictures. One of the pictures you'll see has them actually in the hammock. They didn't know I was watching, and the other one was when they were setting up. I don't know where that Project Life card is from. It's pretty old. I've got some bits of ephemera there. One is a tag, one some Vicky Bouton leftovers, and then there is a clear acetate, like a overlay, whatever it is. I'm trying to use those up for my stash. I pulled it basically because it had brown and black. I wanted to have a mix of those colors running through and up and down the page. So I'm just cutting a fun angle to this chipboard frame that I found in my stash. If I only use a little bit of a frame, I keep the other section for another page. It's more just going to bring some more tan to the top of the corner of that press pause card. Now from the Vicky Bouton ephemera pack, I also punched out that arrow, and it says do all the things. And I'm going to cover up the arrow bit, but you're going to be able to read do all the things. And I fidget with this page a lot because problem number 1 is I'm not exactly sure what I want to do, and 2, nothing is adhered except the orange paper in the background. I've got a tag there. It's an old bit of ephemera from Little Yellow Bicycle, and I didn't want those flowers in there, so I'm just going to cut that at a specific spot on the tag, glue it back together so no one is the wiser, and then I will cut it in half and find it a home on my page. Yeah, I just like the tan in there, and finally getting that card used up. Oh my goodness, you guys, you wouldn't believe some of the old stuff that's on this page. Even the tag I used at the end was, I don't even know from where. It's crazy. I like that I added more of that wood grain behind the pictures to pull that in. I love that I've remembered to add bits of turquoise. That's always fun. And these are not color combinations that I would think to put together with a page about the outdoors. But I think they go well together. I'm using my EK Success spiral punch and just making a fun edge on that wood grain paper. So I'm going to take a moment to say thank you for watching my video, and consider subscribing, help support me on my channel. Also, I'll have links to my other social media sites on Instagram and Facebook at Cut It Up Creations. I would love for you to come over there and follow me there as well. Again, I will have the page that we used as this challenge layout, and as well as my girlfriend's pages over on Facebook and Instagram. And again, it was from Stuck Sketches at .blogspot.com, and Kelly Barron is the one that did this page. I'm just showing you some green that I'm going to bring in there. I've tried to work on adhering everything. Also, if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below. I'll do my best to answer them. Yeah, I don't know. How's everybody doing during, all this crazy? My kids have been enjoying outside a little bit. These are their friends down the street. Everybody's been in quarantine, so I feel safe to let them play with those kiddos. They haven't been out of the house in 55 days, and neither have mine. So, yeah, we're just trying to do our best. I'm showing you there that I have an L Studio stamp, and it is going to stamp best friends on that piece of old half piece of label there. And that's from the stamps from LE Studio called Everyday Tabs stamps. And also I added an arrow, a wood grain arrow from American Crafts. It was like from a Valentine's collection. I added on another outdoors page recently another bit of old ephemera from that same American Crafts ephemera, wood grain ephemera pack. So you can see there I'm adding a really old shipping tag. Just going to get it secured down with my tiny attacher, and I put that label above press pause that says best friends. I just stamped that in black. The other black piece there I'm going to white emboss, and that is from Carrie Bradford's Long Story Short, and the sentiment is busy being happy. And I just stamped and embossed that with clear embossing, and I embossed it with Ranger ultra fine embossing powder, white. And I'm just going to cut that out. You can see here I'm punching out a clear sticker that I put on a piece of vellum, and that sticker says Happy Little Moments, and I'm going to adhere that as well with my tiny attacher, bringing in a lot of metal elements to coordinate with the metal clip, so it kind of works in a triangle. And yeah, I'm really pleased with how this page turned out. It was a fun challenge to do. I was feeling a little off my crafty game, so having thrown this challenge up for me and my friends was a fun way to get re-inspired a little bit. So I'm just going to glue that down. I'm getting to the end of this video. I really don't have too much more to do except add my journaling, and I will tell you what it says. It just says backyard fun, hammock love, all day, every day, quarantine life, can't stop, won't stop. And that about sums it up. They're just trying to make the best of a very difficult situation, and trying to be safe and everything all together at the same time. So yeah, I'm just showing you some close-ups here. You can see the dimension I have from the spiral punch, as well as the dimension that I got from adding a little like pop dot behind some of those layers, and as well as that center picture. I'm really pleased with how this came out. I love the outdoorsy feel, and I think I captured this moment quite well. So again, thanks so much for sticking with me, and I will be back hopefully in a week for another layout share, and I appreciate you watching. Consider subscribing, and thank you so much. Bye guys.